Hello and welcome to When Pigs Fly. I'm Patty and I'm joined by Renee and Tracy. Good morning, ladies.
Good
Morning.
morning.
All right, today we are giving a much needed energy update. And not only are we going to talk about the energy that's coming in, not only to the planet, but through you. And we're going to give you some of our favorite tips and hacks for how to direct this energy with ease and grace. So, how are you moving through this energy? How are you moving through it with your body with ease and grace? And who wants to jump in and start this one?
I think you should, Patty, only because you've got that knowledge of what was going on and what was
Sure.
happening.
So, just for reference point, for those of you who are listening, we look at the Schumann resonance, which shows energetics that are coming into the planet and through our bodies. And it also there's a graph that shows which of our chakras are getting updates. And so, very recently, we've been taking in massive amounts of what they're calling illumination energy. And what this is we're evolving into becoming more of a light body. And this is pouring light into us. And what that does is, if you can imagine, it is pushing out anything that you haven't dealt with gets comes up to the surface. So this can lead to like spicy language if you feel yourself getting more triggered, or if you're starting to feel some symptoms like, oh, like my eyes and my ears and my throat. This is all actually upgrades that are happening in your body. Our DNA is getting upgraded because part of becoming a new light body is we're not a new light body, we're evolving into a higher, right? Blend, for lack of a better description. And so different parts of our body have to acclimate to this new system. And so today, what we're going to talk about is number one, a lot of the things that we're all feeling, and then also helping you instead of freaking out and saying, what's going on? My eyes are scratchy. I can't hear all of a sudden. My throat is scratchy, but no one's telling me I'm sick, right? All of these things are part of receiving this new illumination energy. And then we want to show you how with an awareness, you can manage it or move through it with ease and grace, simply because remember, we want to avoid that fear. Now, this information is particularly important for those of you who have been doing a lot of clearing work and you've been healing your emotions and doing all that work, but there might be stuff that you just haven't let go of yet. And that's the stuff that's going to bubble up to the surface. Because if you can picture energetically, what you're doing is you're trying to hold a massive beach ball underwater. And now this energy is coming in, and the freaking beach ball is getting bigger. It's getting bigger. So you either let it go or it's going to blow you up. And that's so if you're feeling a ton of discomfort, or you feel a lack of clarity or motivation, whatever you want to call it, this means that you got to look inward and say, what is it that I'm hanging on to that I need to let go of? Because we must get to 100% 0 point clean energy so that we can receive this light. And instead of going into fear and thinking something's quote unquote wrong with you, is just embrace it and go, oh, all right, nothing's wrong with me. This is an upgrade. I'm excited to see what new this is, opening you to higher levels of consciousness than we've ever had before. So, Renee, how did I do? You ready to jump in on this?
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely awesome. But I feel like Tracy has something to say first.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple things to say as always, but I just thought of something that presented to me a few weeks ago that is very apropos to this conversation. One of my daughters, she listens to the English guy on, I don't know, YouTube, one of those things. But anyway, I was walking around with this saying in my head, let's see, is it true or rubbish? And my daughter would quote it for a while. And I noticed I kept saying it. I was saying it out loud. And my kids are even like, Mom, why do you keep saying that? Well, it's this kid and he's on YouTube and he finds out like chemical things and then he tests them online and let's see if it's true or rubbish. Let's go. So anyway, it's playing in my head. And then I was like, why am I saying that? And I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm going through the day and everything. all the thoughts that are coming up, all my emotions, all that I'm witnessing out in reality, I'm telling myself, is that true or is that crap? Right? So here's me, and for days I'm saying it. Let's see if it's true or rubbish. And anyway, I love to throw fun into the mix, and it's such a good message for everyone, because like Patty said, now is the time. And even if we thought something came up in your life and you're like, I don't believe that anymore. I know for me, I say, I don't believe that. That is not my reality. No. And then sure enough, a couple of days later, it comes back in and I can give it a twinge of, let's use being sick. Everyone can, you get a little scratch in your throat. Oh man, am I getting a cold? No, I'm receiving the upgrade. Thank you. And then real life stuff. I just got a notice in the mail from my town for some code violation for not properly putting my debris on the street right. And, so I say to myself, is that something that I'm going to put any weight of energy into? That's how I believe life should be run? Absolutely not. That's total bullshit. That's control. That's fear. No, that is not my reality. That's rubbish. Out you go. Like, put it in that garbage can, right? So it is a valuable and fun little tool to walk through your day and question every single thought, feeling, emotion, belief system. And I mean, the hard ones. And Patty spoke to this. This is the time, guys, that we are going to be faced with how and what we do in life. And there are us that, and if you're watching this, I believe you're one of them. I'll use the school system. I have kids in the school. I get shouty little emails from teachers. Your daughter hasn't turned work in 3 days. I'm trying not to cuss too much. You know what? Go fuck yourself. Who cares? That stupid assignment is going to do nothing of value in her life. And I'm not going to feed into your little control system of check all the boxes and get this done in the timely manner in this way. And I know those are big, harsh words that probably a lot of people are like, oh my God, what is your problem, lady? Like, how can you push back in such a way? Because it's time. And for me, I know if I don't, I will. Oh God, what is that pain? Well, you didn't speak your truth. That's what you thought. That's what you felt, but you didn't open your mouth. So guess what? Now you got that pain in your shoulder. So maybe next go around, you'll speak your truth. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so true. And Patty, you nailed it. And you said this, I don't know if it was off camera or whatever, like last week or something, but you had said that whole thing of like, thanks for the upgrade, like when things going. And I have been using that. It's amazing because, like you, this whole thing being the ear, nose, and throat and all that stuff. I started with this, like I had a film on my eyes and I'd be like rubbing it. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And then I immediately was like, oh my God. You know what? I probably got to go to the doctors. Like, okay, I'm going to be 64 this year, maybe. And I was like, wait a minute, wait, what? When have I ever bought into age? And when have I ever bought into this stuff? And I started, and I was like, no, wait a minute. What would Patty say? And I was like, and I do like this high five. I'm like, thanks for the upgrade. And I'm telling you, it was crazy. All of a sudden, when I did that, and I did it with that, like, they're like, yeah, thanks for the upgrade. What was so crazy was it was like my system sort of did this because I was very aware of it. My system actually just doesn't like sort of looked and was like, wait, what? Usually we go down that road, which is, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Am I sick? Usually, but wait a minute, we're going down here. And it was actually like this excitement. And I was like, yeah, we're going this way. Like, no, this is an upgrade. That's all this is. This isn't anything to worry about. And I still had that filmy stuff, but it was a matter of like, I'm not going to buy into like, what are you choosing? That's that whole thing. Like, what are you choosing? Are you choosing to go into all of the old ways of doing things? And we've said this before on this whole thing, the old ways of doing things, they're done, they're gone. That's not the way to do things anymore. So it's really paying attention and exactly, what Tracy said, pay attention to every little thing that's going on and what are you choosing in that moment? Are you choosing to go down that path of, and I hate this word, and it's really such an old thing, but are you choosing the path of victim? Or are you choosing this path to move forward? Because this is the path we have to move forward. We're moving out of all the stuff. We've said it before. Timelines are breaking down. Things are breaking, all the old stuff, the old ways to do things. That's not the way that's happening. If you're, shoveling down food right now, and we had talked about that, a little before in a couple of the prior podcasts, but you got to really pay attention. am I doing this because I'm avoiding something? Am I like really be aware of where are you energetically? Where is that energy in your body? And you can just take that breath in and exhale out and just sort of like focus on something. Like, across, if you're listening to this, you want to try this, don't look at the screen, look away. If you're driving, don't do that. But look away, focus on something across in the room. If your eyes focus on there. And then just take a breath and like just have the whole thought be like, where am I? Where am I in my body? And feel, and it sounds crazy and strange, but it's a point you'll start to, I want you to feel where your energy is in your body, is in your eyes, is in your head, is in your stomach, is in what, and what does that feel like? What does that feel? Some people will tell me, oh, yeah, I'm riding a bike in, Peru. I'm like, okay. So then what is that to you? If that's your relaxation point, okay, then you're telling yourself, okay, I'm relaxed. And I'm eating this because I'm eating it because I need whatever this is filling my body, whatever the nutrient is that I need. But if you're feeling this emptiness or you're feeling this agitation or whatever, like, oh my God, I'm here and I'm really feeling something that I don't like, okay, then you're eating to avoid something. So you need to get it out. You need to speak it. Figure out what is it that I'm not saying. And a lot of the stuff you don't have to actually figure out as well. You can say, thank you so much for all of this. I'm going to fill it with love and I'm giving all my blessing for everything else to go. If it's still there, that's when you've got to pay attention. What is it I'm not saying? What am I not feeling about me? And moving forward on that. But these timelines breaking down, this is huge for us. All of our old ways are done. They're over with. We're moving into a new field. If you still are going into your old stuff, you got to get out of that comfort zone and move forward.
Yeah, your beach ball's blowing up. You can't suppress it. And I want to also double down on what Tracy said there. It's so important. And our bodies know. So if you hold on to any lie, meaning lying to yourself, for any reason, there's no small. We're talking about energy. There's no small. There's like, oh, I can't decline this invitation. I really don't want to go to a lunch right now, but I can't decline it. So I'm going to go. That is no different from I am hiding the truth about a murder. Energetically, those two things land in your body as bullshit and it's going to stay there. So in the moment, being aware and saying, is this true to me? And like Renee said, you go into your heart, do the 3 deep breaths and say, is this my truth? And like, no matter what it is, and by the way, your Achilles is going to be the people closest to you. They're the ones that you put the mask on for. Go back and rewatch the one on masks if you need help with that. But you've got to now say, uh-oh, the mask store is closed. It's done. And then just say, is this my truth? And then second is this, am I in vibratory resonance with this? Because like for me, it's like, okay, wait, is this my love and happy bubble? And if it's not, how am I choosing in no matter what is going on around you? And that's the key, because if everybody around you is blowing up and there is a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unease going around, what are you creating for yourself? What energy space are you creating for yourself? And then in that moment, if somebody's what you would consider to be, oh, why are they acting up? They're ruining my day. You just gave your energy away and you just, right now you're pushing on the beach ball again. And then just saying, oh, okay, that's their journey. They're going through something right now. And I can just have compassion for what's going on in the moment because my priority is what's my vibratory resonance and where do I want to be? What am I creating for me?
Also, and this flows into the conversation, I heard it was actually, I like to give credit where credit's due. I do a body awake yoga with Dr. Sue Morter. I don't know if you guys know her, but anyway, she does the energy codes and she does 2 live yoga classes a month. So I was doing her yoga yesterday, which I love because it speaks to this. It helps move the energies through the body. But she made the comment about people arguing for their smallness. And it's interesting because I have been really witnessing this, and I love, Patty, you're good at like the little wrap it up phrase that really states what's happening. And it was like this ding, 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 because again, I have, a lot of employees and managers and kids, and I was like, wow, everyone is out there arguing for their smallness. And it's kind of like, Renee, what you said, everyone wants to be the victim. And I'm in this energy of, I can't quite understand it, even though maybe I'm in the same energy sometimes, but I at least hope I catch myself and be like, what are you doing? What, whoa, that we don't do that anymore. You know, like, why would you even want to do that? But it's so interesting to me that people are really out there arguing to, like, why wouldn't you be vibrantly healthy? Why wouldn't you want to be amazing? Why do you think that you need these regulations and these controls and these, well, you know, I like to do the explosive ones that everyone can relate to. Well, you have to go to college, because if you don't go to college, you're a loser and you're going to fail at life. And, you know, if you're not married by this age and you don't have a big house, shit. Like, who
Yeah.
made that crap up?
Yeah. And
Right. But
who are you answering to? I always have that. Who
exactly.
the fuck are you answering to? Because in your heart, it already feels like shit. So there's the hint.
But all those people out there, no, the manual says, chuck that man, burn that thing. Like, so again, this is, the energies are here. We are moving through them. And the less your eyes are open, your ears are wide, the more you're going to bump up. You are going to bump stuff. It's going to hurt. It's going to be right. So Renee, I'll let you take it over.
And well, what I've noticed with me too is I actually have ache and pains in my body where it actually hurts. So it's very easy to go into that whole thing of like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? That's where I really catch myself. And I just, again, and sometimes the pain doesn't go away, you know, not right away, but it certainly will. But I noticed when I say, thanks for the upgrade, I noticed that it lessens at least. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this really is just part of the upgrade, and I have something stuck in my body. And what we have to start to get used to is saying, I don't need to be fixed. I don't need to go into all of this stuff, because if it's coming forward, it's coming forward to get out. Okay, so all of this upgrade, this energy that's coming in, it's really pushing through, you know, sort of this energy field, and it's pushing through everything. So are you going to let it like push through and like make holes through, which is okay, because then eventually that will all just flush away? Or do you want to just like come up from underneath and just let the whole thing push up? Because everybody's going to be different. So as long as you're choosing to release that, say, thank you so much. Yes, I'm ready to let this go. I'm moving into my now, or my God, I'm fucking amazing. Like, and you know, Tracy, you had said that in one of the podcasts, and I've been doing it, like something, even like the day will just go whatever. Like I always think my days are pretty awesome, but it's thinking like, and I'll be like, oh my God, that was an awesome day. Like, how great is that? Like, I'm awesome because I created that day. And I didn't start doing that until you were saying that, Tracy. And what a total difference that makes. So even if you think your day is a shithole, start to shift that whole energy and just say, my God, like we're freaking awesome because we created that day, even if you don't like it, but do it with excitement, because your system will then start to respond, whether you're recognizing or not. Because I get a lot of, you know, clients who say, well, yeah, but I don't feel that, like, you know, you feel and you say things, you can see it, you know, it doesn't matter. No, have the faith and trust. No, and I'm telling you from what I see and what I hear and everything else, when you say or think something, it happens immediately. It may take a little bit to come into your human consciousness, which is a freaking awesome thing. Now, that's awesome, but recognize you saying or thinking anything, it's creating. So all that shit you're thinking, that's creating. And typically we're going to bring that shit further closer in this energy, because it's gonna be like, oh, see that shit? You really want that? Here it is. And we're gonna shove it into your face. And that's, you're gonna have the aches, the pains, all the other crap. Your life's gonna feel like it's blowing up. Go back into self-awareness, start to recognize and know, do I want this? What am I choosing? I'm choosing to let this go. No, it's leaving. Don't buy back. Oh, I didn't know. I still feel this. Okay, maybe it's bigger than you think. Continue to let that shit go. You're saying it, it's happening. You start to think other things that are crap, you're going to create crap. If you think I don't have abundance, well, then you're going to create your car breaking down or something else happening, so you don't have the money, all the bullshit. It's going to happen. So be aware, bring your self-awareness around and do the work, because it really
Yes.
does work.
We all spoke to this, so I know we've all seen it. That's the purging energy. But what's been coming in so strongly is the luminous energy. So, and I just said to the girls before we got on, oh my gosh, I had the worst night. Like everything hurt, my feet. I mean, I just was like miserable, tossing and turning. My body felt dry, my throat was scratchy, and then I'll joke, and Patty sent me a text, we are on a group chat, obviously. And I, almost go in the mirror and be like, do I have wings? Like, man, like, can you imagine if you sprouted wings? It would itch, it would hurt. So I'm going to give you the flip side of bring in some fun, bring in the impossible, because I do, like, I'm owning it right now. Last night sucked for me. I did not sleep well. It hurt. I was miserable. Like my muscles, they hurt, they itched, and they all at the same time. And not only did I not spiral down, I'm going to go to the doctor, and I'm like, ooh, what bionic thing am I bringing in? Now, am I bionic this morning? I'm not. But well, I don't know, maybe I am. Let you know this afternoon. I might. But so, right, because we talked about, gosh, the energies coming in so it's the both, which gets a
Yeah.
lot. You got to let go of the crap to make room. And the more
Yeah.
you let go, oh my God,
Yes.
the energy's coming in. Woo.
Powerful. Yeah. Great point, Tracy, too. And so yeah, the universe loves a void. And so to bring in this light, it's got to push stuff out. So when you freely let that go, you're able to receive more, and then you can ground and stabilize yourself. And if you if you are really still struggling or finding things that are coming up, make a list of the people closest to you and go through that list with complete honesty and see if you are still changing your behavior around that individual and not allowing your authentic self to come out. And that's where you'll find your BS, where you're BSing yourself. And because that is normally where it's the hardest. Like some people I find with even they can have adult siblings and they go, but my sister. And it's like, no, that's the shit you got to let go of. Just send her love. She's on her own journey. She picked that experience and you picked this one. So, mind your own energy. And that's usually where you will find if there's anything that you're still holding on to. Stop waiting for an apology. Stop waiting for acceptance. Stop waiting in this new energetic. There's no waiting. We don't wait for things to come. You create it, you trust it in the know, and then you go freaking live your life with joy. We're here, we are conscious creators. So, in the moment, if you're triggered or having that resistance, just say to yourself, what do I want to create right now? So, if you're struggling with someone close to you energetically, do you want to create more of that? And if you say no, but they're poking me or whatever it is, you have the power to choose how do you want to experience this person? Get into your get into your power, and that's create that energetic. This is, oh, I actually want a amicable relationship with this person. I want, well, then get your energy into that energy and stop going, you're trash picking right now. Right? You're trash picking when you do that. And so that's the key. And you can usually uncover if you make a list of the people closest to you, that's typically where, or any judgments you have, if you go into a restaurant and see people misbehaving, do you start going, oh, can you believe that? You don't know what's going on in their life and it's none of your business. So it's again, choose what experience do I want to have in this moment? And that takes practice, but this is how you get through these energetic blasts with ease and grace. Tracy?
Oh, no, yeah.
It looked like you were.
Well, I'll say something. When you're making that list, I want you to be on the top of that goddamn list. And I want you to say, what is it about me that I'm giving my power to these people? Because it's coming back to you. And what is it about you that you don't like? Because a lot of this times they're going to be mirroring shit to you.
Yep.
So look at it and say, okay, what is it about me and what is about my life? And then as you're making that list and as you're looking, like, okay, well, sometimes it's, I don't have, or, well, I don't like this about me. I don't like that. Okay, so now look at that from a perspective of, all right, let me just flip that a little. And let me draw a line from this to here, and let me say an opposite of this. And if you don't know what the opposite is, just say something you like about yourself. Look, there's something that you like. You might be a nice person. You might, have great eyes. You might love your smile, whatever it is. Say something nice. And if you don't, write down next to I choose the opposite. Because your system knows what the opposite is. You have to give that direction to your body that, hey, look, we're choosing something else now. Because when you're not aware, that is your biggest problem. You have to be self-aware of what it is you are creating. What is it you're choosing to bring into your life? And you might not think that you're choosing, but you are choosing. And it's like we have all said before, it's none of your goddamn business what anybody says about you, good or bad. So if somebody's talking about you and you're going to buy into that, well, you better look at yourself and say, why? Because they don't know you worth a goddamn. You know you. So pay attention to everything that you know about you and say, you know what, exactly what Tracy says, you know what, I'm freaking awesome. Like, and choose that path opposed to listening to everybody else. Everything's breaking down. The human language is now breaking down. We are letting go of what words mean about things because it's so limited. We're moving into, and I'm sure everybody's heard, the sound healing is coming forward. All this stuff is coming up because we're being forced to go within and to feel what's happening inside. What is it that my body is doing? So bring your awareness around and go in and say, what am I feeling? What am I doing? And move it forward that way.
Yeah, I
That's
love
Awesome.
that, Renee.
I've noticed that you said put your name first on the list, and Patty, you spoke to, we all have people in our life that, we can say, well, yeah, but they do this and this makes me do this. Well, I actually really have. I'm showing up completely differently, and I'm actually doing my life different. Now I'm in a phase change of kids being at an age that they're much more independent. So I'm consciously shifting roles of how I show up for my kids and in my businesses and for myself, because there was a very palpable, we all have phase shifts in life. But what I've started doing is saying to people, like telling them that I'm showing up differently every day. Therefore, I love the equation analogies, the whole equation is changing, because if I'm the common denominator in every equation, as soon as that little snippet changes, guess what? Everything else has to recalculate. So I am very mindful to own my piece and part in every relationship and in every situation, because, and then I keep reminding them, you got the new memo, right? I'm showing up differently. Therefore, you have to too, because guess what, guys? I am the predominant energy in almost any equation, which we usually are, right? If you're on this call, you probably are one of the predominant. Heard the word governing energy. And to own that could be scary, but I own it. Like usually in the room, I'm the one that's shown up with the biggest force energetically. So you're all really in training to me. So you might as well get on board, because you're gonna have to anyway, right? And I'm being funny, but
Get on or be dragged on.
thank you, Patty, because that's really
Yeah.
because not only am I bringing the energy, the energetics are supporting it exponentially.
Yes.
So what I might have done a month ago or 6 months ago, whew, if I show up with intention and that energetic force within me and the universe is right behind me, watch out everyone in the room, right?
Yeah. And communication is key, because what was key there was you saying, look, I'm showing up differently. Because a lot of times, and I know I do this, or I used to do this all the time, and I'm sure I do it now, and hopefully I catch myself, but I will choose, what, I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't want to do that. Why should I be doing that for them? I don't say it. And then, of course, it just creates all of this, whatever, anger and animosity. And I was like, what the hell just happened? And it's recognizing and saying, oh, wait a minute. Hey, guess what, guys? I'm not doing this anymore. And what's surprising is they actually are like, oh, okay. Yeah, we didn't know why you were doing that to begin with, but you were willing to do it. So, okay, we're good. So communication is really key in so many situations. you have this whole thing of wow, how you think somebody's going to be. Nobody's ever going to let you down from their expectation. But sometimes when you have the, you're like, why are you doing that? Yeah, why are you tearing me down? And no, when people are tearing you down, they're just trying to make themselves feel better. So, you know, that's a dynamic there, but it's calm on it. Like, well, why are you tearing me down? Or you know what? I'd really appreciate it if you didn't tear me down anymore, because I'm not gonna listen to that. And recognize that when you're making that list, there are people that you're gonna recognize and say, oh my God, I can't have this person in my life anymore. And honor that. Because otherwise you're just creating separation in your body that's gonna come out in some sort of ache or pain, and you're gonna be dealing with this eventually. You might as well deal with it now when you've got the energy assistance that is like, whew, blowing it all out.
Yeah. Great point, Renee. And I'll tell you, I've had a couple of clients in the past like 6 months who came to me and said, okay, now, they got into their power and stuff. And then they said, but my spouse,
Hmm.
you know what advice I gave them? I'm like, well, you need to, you stay in your power. Remember why you loved them in the first place. If you, that should be your focus. And from there, the energy is going to go where it's going to go. But that's your truth. And for you not to be in resistance of wherever they are in their journey is whoever is you're butting up against. Just if that's a starting point for you to clean your energy is remember why you love them to begin with. And that really, really it does wonders because you let go of all the judgment, all of what things that you want them to be, right? We got to mind our own beeswax already. So wow, 30 minutes went by quickly on this one, ladies. Any closing thoughts?
Go ahead, Trace, closing thought.
I'd written this down the other day. I don't live my life based on your belief system, which is huge because our belief systems are changing, but to throw in love and honoring those around you, while it's a tricky variable, but Patty, what you just spoke to, and I just glanced down and read that because I love that. I don't live my life based on your belief system, but I'm going to hold a loving presence while you figure out yours, right?
And
I
as
love that.
you're standing in your power and you're doing that and you're looking at that person or whoever, like why you became friends with them, why you became their partner, whatever, you're holding that, that's going to shift the energy as well. So there, you're going to help them raise their vibrational rate. And you're going to be in such a better, wonderful space for yourself and the world because you're really holding love. And when we're doing things for us, it's not just us, it's going through the whole world. And that's what this energy is doing. So never look at it as like, oh, I'm doing this for me, because you are, but you're doing it for the whole world. So thank you for doing that for the world. We appreciate it.
Well said, Renee. Well, ladies, thank you for another fun chat. This was amazing. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Bye bye.
Bye.